Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about Natasha Denona's palette again here, and they have some really interesting shade here that they are like these shades here that they are like a cream to powder matte formula that I'm really excited and happy to try on. And what I'm going to do today is I'm trying to compare like my Makeup Geek Power pigment, the green, the blue shades here, and maybe the orange shades, because one of the shades here, I think it's like kind of like a cream to powder formula again, and we will like swatch, and I will like demo this on my eyes and compare like the two products. And as I have strong feelings about like the Makeup Geek pigments, and let's get on the video, shall we? So I will prime my eyes with my Fenty Beauty amplifying eyeshadow primer to test the eyeshadow out. I will be doing a green blue look. I won't be setting the primer, and I'll be using brushes to apply them on. I'll be using brushes to apply. So for this eye, for the right side, I will be using the Natasha Denona palette, and then for the left side, I will use the Makeup Geek palette. So the Natasha Denona palette, it's for the cream to powder palette, it's a mica base kind of a formula with a lot of like humectants there, like humectants such as like squalene, there's ethylated glycerin, like there's like a lot of chemicals there like that will attract moisture. Also there's like dimethicone in the formula, which makes like the shadows really creamy, and has that really slippery texture in it. So for the first color, I'll be using Royal, which is a dark green. I'll be using a fluffy brush to apply this to the crease all over the lid. And for my other eye, I'll be using a slightly bigger fluffy brush, and I will use the green shade called Transform, to put it all over my lids as well. I'm dipping the brush again into the palette to get more intensity, and this one I only dip it into once, and this one I've dipped twice. And this is the third time. Trying to build like a similar intensity. I think the green shades are quite similar, but this one has like a lot more impact than like I only have to dip once and I get a lot of color payoff. As for the Makeup Geek one, I need to like dip it a few times to like get a similar kind of like intensity to my eyes. And then the next one, I will use the shade Enigma in my Natasha Denona palette, and I will put it into the crease. This is a dark blue shade. And then I will use another brush with a similar shade, using the shade from Makeup Geek Indestructible. No? Yeah, Indestructible. So I will do the same thing here. I think the blue shade here is less intense. And very gray looking. It's dulling the green here as well. The Makeup Geek ones are top base. I'm dipping it again. I'm trying to just pack the pigment on. You can see there's a swatch of blue now, but if I blend it out, it would be like turning gray. I'm using the green shade from Makeup Geek palette from the Power Pigment to blend this out. And also trying to blend out the shade from the Natasha Denona palette as well, the Natasha side. For the Makeup Geek side, it's a little bit more difficult to blend out. Some shades are sticking. They're like splotches. It's a bit patchy looking. If you can see the top here, it's a bit choppy, but for this eye it's just blended beautifully. Trying to blend things out. The blue is really difficult to blend out in this palette. So this eye is easier to blend, and this eye is just very, like it's very, like the blue is mixing in with the green, but I'm trying to blend the colors, try to soften out the color, but I'm trying really hard to soften out the color, but this eye is way easier to soften. And for the crease, we'll be using just a fluffy brush to blend out to slightly clean out the crease. No, the top of the eyeshadow to make it look cleaner. Like the two shade, like there's a discrepancy between the shade. This one, they blend out like way more like beautifully, and also the color didn't just mix in together. This eye turns a little bit more gray, and the green and the blue mix together, which is not something that I want from the eye look, but they just mix together. And for the lid shade, I don't have like a lid shade that I really that I want to put it on, so I will be using the Natasha Denona palette. I will use the shade Penny, using my fingers to place it on over the lid. Gonna wet the brush to intensify the shadow. then for the inner corner, I'll be using the shade Queen. Just pop this into the inner corner. And for the lower lashes, I'll be using two pencil brush to like deepen up the lower lashes, and I'll be using the shade again Enigma for my under eyes for the Natasha Denona side. And then for my other eye, I'll be using the blue shade. Can you see the difference? It's like I have like a bruised eye here, and but then the intensity, there's like difference in intensity, and the blue shade just did not work, and it's wet the brush, try to intensify the shade. After I slightly wet the brush, the pigment is slightly better. But then again, it's like very splotchy looking. When there's not as much as an intensity as this side and this side. Trying to just pack on the shade. And it's like this eye looks like I know this like there's like a shade difference between like this eye and this eye, but if you look like closely, you can see this eye is a lot more vibrant than this eye, even though I use the same primers, and I did not set the primers for both eyes. This one the color stays the same, but this one did not. We're not looking at the gold shimmer because it's the same shimmer, but for the blue one you can see this one isn't blue, but it's like a very dark teal in the pan. This one is a blue shade, but I have to wet the brush in order to get some of the pigments out there, and it still look really dull. So comparing this palette to this palette, the square shades. The every shade in the Makeup Geek palette costs $9, and you get quite a bit of product. I think you get 2 grams. Yeah, 2 grams of product, but it's not really great. I will swatch it for you. I will swatch the equivalent shade side by side using my fingers, and I will clean it with a face halo. Okay, can't find the face halo, so I'm using the cotton pads. So I'm cleaning here as well. I'll be finger swatching this. So I will first apply the Natasha Denona shades, and then next to it I will swatch with like the Makeup Geek shade. So the first shade, it's Royal, which is a dark green. And then next to it, it's the Makeup Geek green shade called Transform. It's very powdery, and this isn't a bad shade. This one is fine. They're 2 tones, don't mind that, but it's like this one is the green shade and this one is the shade from Makeup Geek. It's powdery. This one is even, not really splotchy, and I'm cleaning my fingers with a cotton pad to get off the colors. The next shade that I'm going to demo is the shade Symbol. A rich blue shade, and then I will be using Indestructible from Makeup Geek. It looks pretty on when you swatch it, but like when you just rub it on, but when you swatch it, like the pigment doesn't spread out. Like I'm trying to blend this out so that like there's like a bunch of pigments gathering on top here, but then there's like a splotch here, then so you can see there's like, I'm trying to blend this out, and then you can see the pigment gathering on top here, and then it's patchy down here, and then trying to blend it. It's really patchy. It's not as vibrant as like how the finger showed. Like the intensity is not there. It's not the best quality. Then I will swatch the shade Enigma next to it, because it's again a really deep shade, like a bluish shade next to it. Very smooth and creamy. You don't see like patches. It's smoother in texture. Just blend this out. Not saying that you have to go and buy any of this. I'm just testing out green and blue shades, which I love. And then we can swatch the orange shade. It's ripe. This is like this is not a cream to powder formula. This is just a regular orange powder shade. Can you see? It's not, it doesn't do that poof thing here. This shade, it's ripe. It's the regular powder formula from Natasha Denona. And then I will be swatching this orange shade. That's called Dynamic from Makeup Geek. So you can see it's poofed. I don't know, can you see there? Can you see clumps of pigment there? This one is not a bad shade here from the Makeup Geek collection, but again, when you try to rub it and blend it, I think the orange shades are really like I try to blend both shades out slightly. There's a like slight discrepancy between the shades. For this shade, I think it's the better ones in the Makeup Geek one, but I can see, I don't know if you can see, I can see some like pigment gathering in on this side. It's a bit uneven and splotchy again. And then I will try the use the shade, comparing the shade Raison. It's again a powder, a classic matte from Natasha Denona. It's mustard yellow. This one is a bit lighter in color. I have to pick up twice. This one doesn't have the same like opacity as like the other orange shade. And I'm picking up the shade. It's a bright yellow shade called Potential from Makeup Geek. You can see next to Raison. It's a much brighter yellow. This one is like a mustard shade. This one is just yellow. It's a bit splotchy. Yellows are difficult to make. And here, maybe we should try another shade from, this is not a power pigment shade, this is a shimmer shade. This is called Pretentious from Makeup Geek. It's brownish gold shade. So it looks like this. I don't know. It's very gloopy and chunky, the shade. Don't know why. And then I'm using the shade Shield. Like this one has a bit more green in here. You can see the difference. Like, I truly have a difficult time using this. I've tried this a few times and it's very chunky, gloopy, and I don't like it. But out of like some of the bad shades from Makeup Geek, I have like two really good shades. One is called Sora. It's a very creamy matte shade. It's like very warm transition shade, which I think this swatch beautifully, and I've used it, and this is a very beautiful shade. And then I will compare this to Stain from Natasha Denona. It's a different shade. Try to make it. It's a similar theme. I will use both shades, but this shade, this is a powder eyeshadow, and that one is a cream to powder pigment, which I like the cream to powder pigment. If you can see, like there's like this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. They have like very like great opacity, and they have like, you can like blend this out to like sheer out things, and the color payoff is really great. And then shade that I really love to use, it's a duochrome shade. It's called Black Light. This one is very creamy, very opaque. Very enjoyable shade. Like out of my like Makeup Geek purchase and this purchase, it's not worth it to buy these puppies. It's a shame. I was really excited when Makeup Geek launched these, and I'm like, oh, I can buy an inexpensive rainbow palette, like $70. Not that inexpensive, but I'm like, I trust Makeup Geek quality eyeshadows, and I bought this one as well. Like after trying these, and then I bought this and this, and it's just a miss for me. The contour, this is a contour shade. It's really cheap. It's $4 for US. I think this one isn't like the colorful palette that isn't like the rainbow palette, but this one has a lot of interesting shades, great formula, as you can see on my swatches, that they are really opaque. They're really great quality eyeshadows. And TBH, Natasha Denona is like high end, truly high end. You can see there's difference. This one looks great. This one looks more opaque. The blue, the struggle using the blue shade. The swatches as well. The only good shade that in here is the orange shade, and this shade, and this shade. This one, the yellow, the blue, and the green. The blue is a struggle. If you blend this out, I can show you if I try to blend it. If you blend it, it turns gray for some reason. I think if I try to blend the green shade, it doesn't do that with the green shade. You can see it doesn't do that, but for the blue shade, it's like, it just let me blend the orange shade. It doesn't turn. the blue shade is very bad in that palette. So if you are trying to find a blue shade in your palette or in your like collection, don't buy the Makeup Geek. Like, don't buy the Makeup Geek eyeshadow. Like, please don't. Please don't buy the power pigments from them. They're not good. Would not recommend that palette. And this is the video today. Again, demoing the Natasha Denona palette and demoing my least favorite eyeshadows. So if you like the video, please like, comment down below, subscribe, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I will see you the next time. Bye!